I don't know if you guys remember the rapper Silento. I don't know if you guys remember him, but apparently he's arrested for killing his cousin. Crazy story. Let me go ahead and pull that up for y'all right here. And it's loading up. All right, here we go. So again, rapper Silento killed his cousin. Let's find out the details behind this from the court case, because I briefly saw something pop up about that. And again, if you don't know who Silento is, he's the watch me whip, watch me nay nay, watch me whip, watch me nay nay. He's that rapper. So let's see what's going on.
The charge isn't anything new, but being accused of killing a close family member is wild, even in rap. Silento, the rapper who created the whip and nay nay dance, as well as a single to go along with it, has recently been arrested and charged with the recent shooting and death of his cousin, Frederick Rooks. Let's take a look at this crazy story.
New tonight, an Atlanta rapper who rose to fame with a one-hit wonder is now charged with murdering his cousin. DeKalb County Police arrested Ricky Hawk today. You might know him by his stage name, Silento. He's accused of shooting his cousin to death last month.
Silento is a rapper from Stone Mountain, Georgia, who's best known for his viral hit and dance craze, Watch Me, Whip / Nay Nay. He started making music as a teenager, and surprisingly, his first song was also his best known hit. Watch Me was produced by Bolo, the producer, and released on SoundCloud in 2015. It quickly racked up 100,000 streams in a few weeks and attracted the attention of an A&R from Capitol Records, who signed him to a deal. The label helped him shoot a music video, which was released in June 2015 and quickly racked up over 2.5 million views the first week it was released. The video was directed by Mark Clansfeld and shows Silento performing his famous dances in a high school gymnasium along with some cheerleaders and old women. It even featured guest appearances from rapper Lil Scrappy and the pop rap duo Rich White Ladies. The video was an instant hit and propelled the song's popularity even further. It ended up peaking at number 3 on the Billboard charts, all while the rapper was still in high school. But he would not.
He's totally right. That song was huge. He definitely caught a record. When you get the kids behind you, you have a wave, and kids love dancing. They love dancing. Whippin' Nay Nay was one of those songs that was just out of the stratosphere. Like, that's amazing. Dude was in high school and probably had chances to make millions of dollars while still in high school. That's always amazing to me.
His debut album, fresh out of high school until 2018, and none of the tracks on that album will live up to the wild success of his first single. After that, things would start to go downhill for Silento. In 2017, he was briefly banned from leaving the UAE after getting into a dispute with the promoter. The promoter claimed that he failed to perform at 2 separate shows that was eventually cleared up and he was able to return to the US. Then, in an episode of the
time out, I just want to say they is not playing overseas. Every place has different rules, and as Americans, we think when we go to other countries, we just got the same American rules. No, you don't. They held that man in the UAE because they said he missed 2 shows. He didn't perform there. They were going to hold that man in a country he could not leave. Again, that's against his will. They was going to hold him in the country for violating the laws. Like, I guess he tried to finesse him, and they ain't playing like that in some places. Like, you will learn fast. Rules are different in America than it is in other countries and shit.
Talk show, The Doctors, Silento opened up about his battles with depression. He said that he had battled mental illness his entire life, even prior to becoming famous. He says he was born with all types of drugs in his system, including weed, pills, coke, and heroin, and witnessed family members fight and try to kill each other growing up.
I've been fighting demons my whole life. I was born with weed, coke, heroin, pills, all type of drugs in my system. I saw family members talking to walls. I watched family members fight. I watched family members try to kill each other. Nobody should have to watch that.
When he was only
some of those things he talked about, I definitely can relate to. One, I just want to say this because my mama probably said, I did not come out of my mama with any drugs in my system. My mama probably one of the most squarest individuals I know. She can't even drink a wine cooler and not get intoxicated by it. So I'm just saying, my mom is a square when it comes to that, but I definitely grew up around probably what you would consider dysfunctional family members, drug users, family fights, niggas stealing because of drug habits, all that type of wild shit. So I definitely could feel him coming from there, and that's also good that he can acknowledge that he had issues, and I guess he tried to go fix them. I wouldn't have tried to go do it on TV. With the access to money and resources that he had after that hit song, I definitely think he should have went and found him some therapy because he can acknowledge he has trauma from those issues, which a lot of people, they can't realize a lot of the shit they've been around is traumatic. I have conversations with people who grew up in the suburbs and they eyes are so wide open, mouth to the floor when they're like, you lived through that? Like you come from these places? Like, yeah, man, the hood where they do you the most good. You hear me, ladies? But nah, man, like, yeah. So let's get back into this. So far, interesting story.
13, he moved in with his great aunt and had to go to school where he had no friends. He almost got in 5 fights and was prescribed ADHD meds and sleeping pills.
I was given ADHD for meds, sleeping pills. I was getting skinny. I was getting stressed. I was never officially diagnosed with ADHD, but I still had to take these drugs.
Then, at some point, he said he ended up getting arrested and sent to a juvenile facility. Then he blew up with Watch Me, but was still battling depression, which still affects him to this day. Despite coming clean about his struggles, Silento would continue in a downward spiral. In August 2020, he would be arrested and charged with inflicting corporal punishment on a spouse following a domestic abuse incident with his girlfriend. He was brought to L.A. County Jail, but was released the same day.
Maybe, I mean, I ain't no jailbird enough, but I never heard of somebody getting corporal punishment to a spouse. I've never heard of that. Let's pull that up. To be convicted of corporal injury to a spouse, it must be proven that you willfully inflicted injury that caused the victim to sustain a traumatic condition, meaning an actual physical injury to their person. Wow, this could be anything from a bruise or a wound or serious internal injury. So, I mean, the first part makes it seem like it's super extreme, but it seems like from anything from a bruise, which you can grab a wrist or something like that and bruise somebody. Again, keep your hands to yourself, and you don't have to learn about this shit like I just learned about this shit, because guess what? You will not catch me fighting any female I've ever been in a relationship with, and I've had hella arguments with some women. Some women just like to argue. I'm not the argumentative type of person. I feel like I'm past that part of my life. If we can't have a conversation as adults, then I don't need to be in a relationship with you. Simple as that. But, you know, doesn't always work that way.
That wasn't bad enough. The next day, he would be arrested again and charged with assault with a deadly weapon while he was out on bail.
22-year-old rapper Silento, whose real name is Richard Lamar Hawk, is now facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon.
According to the victims, Silento walked into their home in the Valley Village area of Los Angeles looking for his girlfriend wielding a hatchet. Thankfully, the people inside the home managed to detain and disarm Silento before he seriously hurt anyone. He was brought back to the county jail and held on a $105,000 bond, but was later released. While his charges were still pending, he would be arrested again, this time for speeding at over 143 miles per hour on Interstate 85.
Rapper Silento was arrested this weekend for going 143 miles per hour on I-85. Police pulled over the rapper, whose real name is Ricky Lamar Hawk, on 85 South just before the Claremont Road exit on Friday.
Police pulled him over around 3 a.m. after a cop noticed his white BMW swerving around other cars. The police report states that the rapper tried to argue with the cops and claimed that he did nothing wrong. He told the officer that he had to speed because he always gets followed after leaving events and was just at a club where he was promoting his new song. He even told the officer that he could drive 143 miles per hour because he's not a regular person.
I'm trying to figure out why you're doing 143.
Because I get followed everywhere I go.
But that gives you no right to be doing 143.
If it's like 10 cars following me, I can't do 143 because I'm not a regular person.
The police.
All right, so he's wrong in that instance, but I kind of get what he's saying. Like, if anything can happen to these celebrities leaving events at any given time, so I can understand that. Like, you're trying to get away if you think people are following you. I 100% agree with him. But you also gotta deal with the consequences of speeding. You're gonna break the law. You know, it's consequences to breaking the law. Again, I ain't perfect. I done broke the law hella times. I still break the law. I still try to finesse. I still try to get over. But guess what? I understand what I'm doing. I do. That's why I just know the lines to cross and the lines
Obviously
to
didn't
don't.
feel the same way and arrested him for reckless driving, speeding, failure to maintain lane, and improper stopping.
You are under arrest for reckless driving. Reckless driving? Yeah, you're doing 143. That's crazy.
He was released on bail later that night. Unfortunately,
That man said reckless driving. Huh? Nah, that's crazy. Whew, that boy is funny.
Silento's music career wasn't looking great either. He dropped straight out of high school too in December 2018, even though by that point, he was almost 21 years old and well out of high school. He had dropped the project Skyroll Lyrics in 20.
Yeah, so when they said the music didn't hit the same, I definitely didn't know he got to the second album. And shit, I didn't even know the first album came out. So apparently the rest of his music definitely wasn't connecting.
But no tracks on either of those projects came close to the viral success of Watch Me. In 2020, some very strange and private photos of the rapper leaked onto the internet, leading to several memes and questions about his mental state. Not long after that, he started asking his Instagram followers to send him money via Cashapp for selfies, videos, and shoutouts, leading many to believe he was also struggling financially. But Silento's legal problems were just getting started, and in February,
Alright, I mean, I can see why people would think you have a financial problem, but that's also a little hustle. You know what I'm saying? Some people just hustle much different, and sometimes when somebody take leaps and to do something that you wouldn't do, you'll look at them different and say, all right, you know, they wild and they going broke. Sometimes it's good business, really good business. That's why they got the Cameo app, to which fans can go pay you for birthday shoutouts and things like that. So I mean, that's almost the same thing. You're just doing it direct with no middleman to take any money.
2021, the rapper was arrested for the murder of 34-year-old Frederick Rooks, the rapper's blood cousin.
Rapper Silento has been indicted in DeKalb County for the murder of his cousin.
Rooks was shot and killed in front of his own home in Georgia following an altercation. After police analyzed nearby security footage, they identified none other than Richard Hawk, aka Silento, as the shooter. They analyzed the Ring video doorbell footage of several homes in the area, which shows several cars fleeing the scene after the shooting.
Them ring lights catching everything. People are going out bad and sad because of them ring lights.
And captured one of the fatal shots. Based on his recent criminal history, the judge denied Silento bail, and he's been incarcerated ever since.
Atlanta rapper Silento faced a DeKalb County judge for the first time this afternoon on felony murder charges. His real name's Ricky Hawk. He's accused of shooting his cousin last month on Deep Shoals Circle. Hawk is known for his hit song, Watch Me Whip. He's being held tonight without bond.
They claim that because of his recent antics, he may be a danger to the community. His lawyers argued that he has also done a lot of charity work and positive things for his community, including a video encouraging kids to take the National Education Assessment of Educational Progress exam, as well as an anti-vaping campaign targeted at high schoolers. But this wasn't enough to persuade the judge, and he was denied bail. At this time, the motives behind the attack are completely unknown. By the rapper's own admission, he's been suffering from mental health problems for a long time. Maybe he just snapped and took his anger out on an unsuspecting family member. Or maybe they had some kind of falling out and the rapper had had enough.
I mean, we kind of see and get the gist from this. It's a bad situation, man. I hope you can find like some mental health experts or somebody to come in and help him, because he seemed like he understood that he was going through problems, and he tried to initially address them. I guess what he did just wasn't enough. It was not enough. So I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I don't want to see him crashing out like this, but it looks like he already did it. It looks like he's already crashed out from the ignorance, and it's sad to see. Like, again, you never want to see somebody reach a pinnacle and then fall so fast, and that's what happened. It happened to a lot of musicians, especially when they consider like one-hit wonders. You see them, they come and go so fast. It's your boy DJTheParkBoy, and I'm here with a special product for you. I got some Delta 8 weed from JK Distro, and I'm saying it's amazing. It's clean, smokable, and the best part is they deliver it right to your door. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, it's now legal for them to have Delta 8 weed sent through the mail. That's right. And if you use promo code FLOSS1, you can get some clean, smokable weed sent to your door direct. You have options. You go right there to jkdistro.com. You look at all the strands they have, which is a lot. You can even get you some edibles. You can get you some wine. Anything in between you can think of. You put in promo code FLOSS1, you're going to save you 20%. So go ahead, hop on that now. Make sure it's in the description.